What's good, YouTube? It's boardzy, and in this video I'm going to be doing a comparison of the Gwolves Hati Stardust Edition and the Finalmouse Air58 Ninja Red Edition. And at first glance you might think these mice aren't really that similar, but once you actually use both of them, you can feel that the Hati is virtually a mid-sized Finalmouse. They have around the same height. Hold on, let me try to show that. Fuck. I don't know how good that's gonna show it, but yeah, it's pretty good. You can see that they're virtually the same height. The Air58 is a bit wider, and one of the only things that's actually different is the Air58 curves out a lot more on the bottom. But in reality, this isn't going to affect most grips, because for me, I fingertip it, I am not making contact with that whatsoever. So in my hand, both of these mice feel virtually exactly the same, but the Hati's just a bit smaller, and for me, a better fit. So I'm going to say right now that if you have small or medium hands, the Hati is going to be a better fit 100%. But if you have hands that are bigger than mine, bigger than 19.5 by 10.5, let's say above 21 centimeters, the Air58 will probably be a better fit. But yeah, there's this dope ass website, I don't know what it's called, I'll put it in the description, where you can compare mouse shapes. And when me and my friend compared it, because I told him, I'm like, the Hati's a mid-sized Finalmouse, he was like, oh no. I'm like, you're fucking brain dead. And then we use that website, and they are basically the exact same shape. But of course, Finalmouse has like the sharper clicks and the bigger like fucking whoopty at the bottom, so it might seem a little bit different, but in hand it's gonna feel very similar. So just getting that out of the way, super similar shapes. The Hati is basically a mid-sized Finalmouse. This is the closest thing to a mid-sized Finalmouse that we're gonna get, and I can guarantee that. So the clicks, both of these mice use Omron 20Ms. Unless you are lucky and you got the TTC switches in your Hati. And my switches, they've broken in kind of well. They have a bit of side-to-side play, but nothing too bad. Nothing like my old Hati. The Stardust has had some better build quality. Putting it up close to the mic, I don't know if that's any better. But you can hear, they're pretty crisp now. And they don't actually have the issue where they die out like after 20 clicks, similar to the MM710 or the Ponage mouse. The Ultralight 2, it also has Omron 20Ms, but you can see they don't really sound the same. Finalmouse is really good at making clicks. These just don't feel like Omron 20Ms. They feel super crispy, and I love that about Finalmouse. They do make really nice clicks. I would say that the clicking experience is a bit more enjoyable on the Air58, but it is nothing like too special. It's just a little bit crispier. But honestly, it's only something that I'm nitpicking because I have used a ton of mice and I can notice like little differences in the clicks. The scroll wheel on the Hati, it has a little sex bumps, makes me moan every time I scroll. Just can't do it because of a TOS, and I love it. Clicks in very nicely, and overall just one of my favorite scroll wheels. Perfect amount of feedback, and it's just like terrific. The Air58 on the other hand has no feedback. It's a bit wider actually. It has a pretty wide scroll wheel. Has a little epic haikus on it, but I'm not clicking mine in. You guys know that already. That's just not gonna happen. But overall I like the feel. There is no resistance, but it's pretty cool. I fuck with it. But yeah, I like both of these scroll wheels. The thing with scroll wheels is almost every one is going to be usable, so it's just a matter of personal preference. I prefer the Hatis. Side buttons now. The Hati has nice little long, pretty big side buttons. Super good for building in Fortnite. I've done better with this in Fortnite than I have with any other mouse, believe it or not, aside from like the Ultralight 2 for building. And my bottom side button used to have a ton of creak, but it actually went away, which is super weird. So a bit of travel, as you can see, on both of them, but it's really fine. No issues there. Good for building, perfectly fine side buttons. The Air58 has the super light Finalmouse side buttons. Has that pretty weird noise on mouse 4, but no issue there. It also has some travel. It's fine. So the side buttons on both mice are perfectly good for building in Fortnite or whatever else you're going to be using them for. They also, both of these mice have full skeletal designs, so you're not going to be sweating on them, which is great. If you get the normal Hati, it is not going to have holes in the side, so you may sweat on it, but not on the Stardust one, which is, in my opinion, when they used to be similar prices, the Stardust was worth it, but now that the normal one is $45, link in the description to buy it if you want to use my code. I would say that is a bit more worthwhile than some shelling out like 100 on the Stardust. Both of these mice have some side flex issues, but I've gotten scolded for complaining about that in the past, so I'm just going to let you guys know, not going to say my opinion on it. Both of them have DPI buttons. With the Finalmouse, you can use the DM1 Pro software, but like, I don't even think that voids your warranty. So if you need software, go ahead, get that. On the Hati, unfortunately, Gwolves software has a Trojan in it, apparently. I've had the software for like months now, for like 7 months. I haven't had any issues. So download it at your own risk. I do not condone downloading it, but if you want to, by all means, go ahead. It might be nice to, because you need to change the polling rate and the debounce time. But yeah, if you don't get the software, you're not going to be able to do that. So, of course, do it at your own risk. On the cables, the Hati's is definitely a bit more flexible. You can see that it is pretty flexible, not holding its shape. Overall, pretty nice light wire. Sometimes it will get a bit less flexible, and what you need to do is you need to pull it down by the USB connector in order to give it some slack. I'll do it like halfway to show what I'm talking about. You see I'm pulling, and I have given my mouse a little bit more slack, but if you do it with the entire cable, it's going to make it a lot more loose and flexible. The Air58's cable is much less flexible, does not hold its it does hold its shape, and it can sometimes get stuck like this when it's in the bungee, but overall, it's fine. It doesn't feel perfectly wireless, but it feels perfectly fine. Now the mouse feet, the Hati does come with shitty black Teflon feet, but you can get the R-curved mouse feet on X-Ray Pad for like $1 extra, and in my opinion, this is completely worth it. The only issue is that they do seem to be humidity affected, like the Ultralight 2 feet, and yeah, on my Hind Soft XL, it glides really fucking fast, and yeah, it's pretty insane, right? Like, holy shit. Like, this mouse is fucking flying. Yeah, I don't have my mouse bungee in, so I'll show it without the bungee. Like, without the fucking cable giving me some extra glide. You can see that these mouse feet are really fast for PTF. Like, they're basically as good as Hyperglides. The Air58, I put some Tiger Arc 2s that fit the Ultralight 2 on, because it unfortunately does come with pretty dog shit mouse feet. And I'll do another glide test. They are pretty fast, and both of these mice feel buttery smooth on this mouse pad. This is, of course, a speed pad, so that's expected. But yeah, if you get some nice PTFE feet, they're going to be perfectly fine. Now, onto the sensor. The Air58 uses a 3360 and the Hati uses a 3389. Obviously, both of these mice are going to be perfectly fine tracking in any game. No issues there, but based on what I have felt, this is completely like personal experience. The Hati is smoother. Like, the movements that you're going to be making with a 3389 are a bit smoother and like more precise than on a 3360. I don't have any like fucking sensor math to back me up. I'm just saying this is what's happened in my experience. So yeah, take that for what it's worth. Now the Hati with the Stardust edition is 56 grams, while the normal one is 61. The Air 58 is advertised as 58 grams, but I believe it's like 61 or something like that, a few grams extra, so no huge difference there. But the Hati does feel nice and light, and it's a little bit smaller, so it is going to feel a bit lighter on the mouse pad. That's why the Ultralight 2 feels so light when it's compared to like the MM710, even though there's like a 2 gram difference. The Air 58 feels super bulky, but it does feel really light, and accompanied with the nice feet, it feels perfectly fine. Like, there's no weight issues, obviously. Both of these mice are super light. You can make any movement you want to, basically. So yeah, that's basically everything out of the way, aside from like who this mouse is going to be good for. So I'm saying that if you can get away with the claw grip on the Hati, but basically any grip, I wouldn't say that it's best for claw, but you can get away with any grip on this mouse with almost every sized hand. It is a super safe shape. And my only like issue with this mouse is that in the past, my old Hati, the Vista Blue one, my left click kind of went to shit after a few months of hard use. So I'm not really sure like if that's going to be a consistent problem, because I have only had this mouse for around a month. But in my experience with it, it has been great, and it could very well be my main. It's definitely in my top 3. The Air 58 is a bit too big for me, and I do have pretty big hands and a pretty adaptable grip, so that shows that it's not really made for everybody. While it does fit in my hand pretty well, I just don't have enough room to like make micro movements. My hand's like kind of stuck here in this grip. You might understand what I'm saying. If not, I could elaborate on it a bit in the comments. But yeah, both of these mice are terrific, but I do have to give the edge to the Hati. It does feel a little cheap. That's an issue that a lot of people have talked about, and I do understand it. I just don't think that the overall cheap feel really affects gameplay, and the only thing that I would say is worse about the Hati is the clicks, but they're pretty damn similar. So yeah, in conclusion, the Gwolves Hati is a mid-sized Finalmouse. Hold on, let me get my Ultralight 2 to show you. The Ultralight 2 is fucking tiny. This is like the Finalmouse family. The Hati is basically a Finalmouse. The Ultralight 2 is the small size, the Hati is the medium, and the Air 58 is the large. So yeah, if you have super small hands and want this ambi shape, go with the Ultralight 2. If you have medium size hands, or like even small hands, and you like play a palm grip, go with the Hati. And if you have like XL hands, like let's say you're used to using like a fucking FK1 Plus or something, and want a smaller mouse, go with the Air 58. Yeah, so this was sort of like a longer video. I tried to get my opinion across, and I hope that it made a lot of sense. So yeah, basically I do recommend the Hati to anybody who wants to feel like get the Finalmouse experience per se, but not at the Finalmouse price tag. Yeah, so I hope I haven't been like too flip-floppy on my opinion of the Hati, and I hope that everybody who has viewed this video to this point has a terrific day. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn post notifications on, because I am grinding the YouTube grind. So yeah, peace.